Lauren, everyone, welcome to...
Looking at the camera.
I feel like you're not real.
I know, it's a bit weird. Like, I feel like we're socially
touch me,
distancing.
please don't.
I'd rather you didn't. Also, can I just say I feel like Craig David born to do it? Sorry, you're gay, aren't you? You won't know the album. It's the one.
Sorry,
where he's wearing the headphones.
Can you use references like Sound of Music? And
the stereotypical ones. You know, with the hat, the beanie hat and the headphones.
Still lost.
No. Anyway, it was his first album. It did really well.
Oh,
but he
God
wore
love him.
those big headphones.
Well, welcome everyone to episode 23 of Fab Life with Lauren and Lee, series 2. And I'm looking direct into camera now because
you're doing a piece to camera.
If you happen to be watching on the U of the Tube, then welcome. You will see that we are in person. We are in a studio in Vauxhall, nonetheless.
It's a bit too professional for us as well. I'm a bit like, I feel a bit on edge. Like, look around, look at this.
I know.
Did not expect this.
Good Lord.
Heroes welcome when we walked into that.
I mean, look at that. And also, I'm slightly nervous because we actually have lovely Phoebe in the studio who is live editing.
Hello.
Oh my God, Phoebe, we can hear the voice of God.
Yeah, oh my God, it is a bit mad. And Lee's always wanted someone he could shout at. So, you know.
Oh, that's going to be me. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe sneeze or something and then you can do something where you can
Phoebe,
shout at
I asked for oat in my fucking latte.
We'd have hidden the lattes because they were disgusting.
No, so I'm in London for a couple of weeks and we've been doing it remotely now for a year and a half, can you believe, because of the pandemic. And then actually, it turns out it was just quite easy to do it remotely,
easy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you've got your tracky bottoms on, you know.
Well,
no one
I
knows.
haven't.
Well, you don't own any, do you? But, oh God, it was a bit of a pain in the arse. We had to start putting makeup on when we were doing the record at home. It was good as well before I got the new computer because it was all like computer. I don't know why I said it like that. You were going to rip the shit out of me, weren't you? I was like a blur. I was like, you know, because it was so old, the laptop, do you know what I mean? So I just slap a bit on. But look at me, I'm in HD.
But if you are listening, because the majority of our listeners listen. If you are listening,
he's bloody nervous.
Then just imagine we're in a little studio in Vauxhall. We're loving it.
We're going to go for a pint after a Prosecco, not a pint.
Absolutely. Pint of Prosecco. Well, talking of pints of wine, so Phoebe, lovely Phoebe.
Oh, she knows. She knows.
She knows exactly what I'm going to say. So I met Phoebe actually on Saturday. This is a complete coincidence, actually. So I didn't.
Well, it was weird when you both were like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you knew each other." The madness. Yeah.
I know, yeah. So on Saturday, I was gigging at the Vauxhall Comedy Club.
Yeah, below
in
us.
Vauxhall, can you believe it?
Funnily.
And so we went there, and lovely Phoebe runs the show there. So
multi-talented.
And she said what I always love whenever you arrive at a gig, one of my favourite things that a promoter will say is, "Can I get you a drink?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're going to be looked after." Anyway, so I said, I'll get a glass of white wine, please.
Excellent.
Well, what did she come up with? A mega pint. Johnny Depp, eat your heart out.
Oh my God.
She
Is
said,
it since the trial? They just serve them in mega pints. That's it.
I don't know what happened with that, Phoebe. Was
somewhere.
it pure accidental, or you were just like, they just poured it all in?
So they started pouring into like a plastic. Well, he got out a plastic cup, and I was like, "Oh, do you not have a wine glass? Like, this is one of our acts, you know. Let's try."
I mean, come on, let's look after him a bit.
Be a bit nicer. And he was like, "Oh no, we don't." And I was like, "Well, it's going to have to be a big old pint of wine then to make up for the fact that it's in a plastic cup."
Absolutely,
keep
brilliant.
pouring, keep bloody pouring.
Gosh, this is how great Phoebe is as well. She knew just by meeting me in those 2 minutes
that
I would like a glass. No, I'd like a glass, the receptacle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, to be fair.
Anyway, so it was a great gig, and then my agent texts me saying that there's a podcast studio here, and then Phoebe could see us from a distance, lost. We didn't know where we were going.
We got our steps in around Vauxhall this afternoon, didn't we?
We did, and here we are. So it's episode 23. We have been together this week, haven't we?
We've got to talk about... I'm getting sick of you, to be honest. It's too much after the panny day, isn't it? Seeing you this much.
Well, we've got to talk about the Feeling Fabulous event.
Well... that title as well.
I know.
It was made for us.
It really was.
The lovely Ruth and Eamon. Can I just say that Eamon, I feel like I could go into ITV, well, not ITV now actually because he's not there, but like if I ever saw you at work, you know, at Loose or whatever, I feel like I could have gone in and been like, "Hey, Eamon." Like he was so lovely and he like really listened to
Yes,
me.
He does. He asks questions.
Yeah.
Well, so I ought to explain because people are just like, why are they randomly talking about Eamon Holmes?
Already went on a tangent, yeah.
So Ruth had an event called Feeling Fabulous with Ruth Langsford.
Yeah.
And she kindly invited me to go down, bless her, and gifted us a couple of
VIP as well.
VIP tickets. I know, very fab life.
Oh.
And yeah, Eamon was there working the crowd, and it was just fab. And do you know what? Like, Ruth, I will say, is delightful. She's so nice.
She looked radiant. She looked stunning.
Radiance. She's pure. She's pure radiance.
She's pure radiance. Her team, her glamour team.
But she got a little bit emotional at the end, didn't she? And it like made me upset because
you got emotional.
Well, do you know what it is? Do you know what I struggle with sometimes? It's
empathy.
When people cry, it really makes me feel awkward.
Don't get it.
No, I know what triggers me to cry a lot of the time, and you know when you can see someone trying not to cry, oh, that gets me.
The lip.
So if someone like just starts crying, you're sometimes a bit like, oh God,
get over it.
But if you can see that they're like really fighting it, and then it happens, I'm like, oh,
you know
you've
that
lost control.
Oh. But it was amazing though. It was such a fab event. That venue was lovely. It was on the South Bank. What's it actually called though?
It's
not on the South
Old Billingsgate.
Yeah. What an amazing venue. I've never, because I've been to the Excel, I've been to the Olympia. It's just a warehouse with lighting, isn't it? Like really, it's horrible. But that was so nice. It was just such a lovely venue. Perfect size. All the vendors that they had were amazing.
Well, there was that one, wasn't there? When we got stopped.
Oh, God.
She was a lot.
God love her, though.
You know what?
Love her. She was working hard.
She
worked hard for the money.
Well, the thing is, right, so me and Lauren obviously used to, I keep looking at the camera back. like, turn.
I've not looked once. I'm just like used to it. And he's like,
I can't.
So cut to
I
me.
keep catching my own eye.
What lovely eyes they are.
Thank you. No, so we used to do jobs like that, and we'd, chat to people. And you can tell when people aren't interested. Anyway, this one woman stops us, and she's like, hi guys, really like welcoming, and we're like, chatting to everyone. And she's offers us this package where you basically can pay 300 quid. She was like, it's usually now. This is what she said. She was like, "It's I know. Just put the penny.
Round it
like
up,
we all know the tactics you use in there, love." So she's like, "It's usually £299.99, but today as a special price, it's £52." And I'm like, "Hold on.
How can you afford to even pay the photographer?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Is it usually 300 quid, or is it usually that price and you just make anyway? So it was like this studio that you book out and have like modelling shots,
and it was them
with
like
your friends.
Naughty's couches, wasn't it? That like it's trying to be a chaise longue, but it's like got the silver like dots on it, like Diamante, like you would have got it from the range kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it was.
No offense,
it was.
Got them in,
It was a little bit like Home Sense had just vomited all over the studio.
Anything mirrored was in there.
Don't, because obviously I'm living back home and I've got.
Les loves a mirror.
Well, no, it's not Les. It's my sister's old room, because my room was converted into my mother's craft room, which is such an insult.
I know you're the.
And I'm now in my younger sister's room, which is all mirrored furniture. It's like a house of like mirrors.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so so she stops us and I'm like, "Come on, we're all tired. We're not going to do this."
Hey, did you feel that leaflet though?
Yeah, well, they
very top qual.
Very
a lot of money spent on them. There was a double fold.
It was.
And they were laminated.
Well, I could tell because I went, "Shall I keep this?" And she went, No. She literally was like, "We're not giving them." She took it off me.
Yes, she did.
Because I was like, "Oh, we'll." But I was like, and then I think I insulted her because I said, "Oh, this used to be a big thing back in like 2010."
People
because
used to get conned as well, didn't they?
Well, yeah. Well, I've done one of them before in London.
It's all coming out now, isn't it? Eh?
I did one when I was probably about 19.
Have you got the pictures from it?
I have, yeah. I'll have to find them. And we all dressed up. But then we just did it because what it used to be is you do it for free. Or I think it was free. And then they try and sell you the pictures.
Right, yeah. That's how they get you, don't
yeah.
Oh my God, was that at Broadway Studios?
I don't know.
Phoebe's done it. Have you got the pictures?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I did it with someone who was my best friend at the time, and then we fell out. So I've got all of these
Oh my
pictures
God.
of
And
like
you've
me
got
and this
like
girl.
side fringe and stuff. You know, like when was it? How long ago are we talking?
This was at uni. This is embarrassingly at uni. We were like 18, I think.
Yeah, but it was a big thing. But when were you?
And you were like, you could be a model. That's how they got you, didn't they? They were like, if you get these pictures, you can send them off to agencies.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I had because they put makeup on me, actually. It was the first time I'd ever worn makeup, and they made me up. And actually, I remember one of my photos, it was like me lying on this table after the shoot because I still had the makeup on and my hair, and I looked quite hot. And I was like,
were you like, take a picture of me now?
I was like, yeah, I'll find it. I've got it somewhere. But they were furious with us because we didn't buy a single picture.
You just did it for like the laugh.
Yeah, we just did it for that. So we've not got any of the professional photos, but we've got photos that we did a photo shoot after the photo shoot ourselves on our digital camera.
On your little, like, with the wristband, you know, before you had a smartphone. Was it then?
What's the wristband?
Well, when you had them, like, you know, like your little Canon,
yeah.
It would always like have a safe carry because you'd be hammered in a club with your bloody camera, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, don't want to drop
As
it.
if we used to take digital, and then we'd upload them the morning after, like all.
You couldn't wait to get that SD card out,
and
could
there
you?
would be an album on Facebook called Saturday Night, like, and the date.
Oh God, awful! Honestly, the amount of me like sweating.
I need to go through my
podium.
Facebook and delete a load of those.
I did
because
that
they
a while
could be
back.
quite incriminating.
Yeah, I did that a while back. It's bad.
Anyway,
Anywho, top qual leaflets. She come up to us. You were outraged.
I wasn't outraged, but my friend used to be one of those charity sellers, and I once said to him, "Listen, do you want people to talk to you if they're not interested? Do you?" And he said, "I'd rather you not listen to the spiel."
Jodie Foster's in the house.
I've been hanging around with Eamon too much. Listen. But he said, "I'd rather you not waste my time."
Yeah.
So I was in this kind of, but I didn't want to interrupt her halfway.
She was going for it.
She was going for it, and I think she
Pointing.
thought we were hooked. So I just went, "Well, I'm
Too
not going to
nice.
be doing it." And then I said, "And she models anyway."
Yeah.
She.
You were fuming for me. You were like, look at you. You've clearly modelled before. And I was like, I don't look that good today.
Oh, please. You turned up like, c'est moi.
Feeling fabulous, guys.
And then the bloody Liz Earle people were like, "Can we just stop you and say you look
my God.
absolutely
I was
gorgeous?"
pissed by
I was
that
like
point.
fucking chopped liver. Just stood there like, "I'm sorry."
I got us from My Beauty, the a free cleanser or something.
Yeah.
I've been using it every night.
Have you?
Can we discuss just like the layout? So we had all these lovely vendors, apart from the woman trying to sell us
She was lovely, but
She
she
was
was just a little
nice.
bit, it was a bit random.
Yeah, and she was very close to us. And I was like trying to, you know, Space Invaders, when you're like, you're trying to back away and then they're just getting, and then you end up on the Liz Earle because you've walked that far back. Loads of vendors. And then the VIP section, but everyone, it was a bit bad actually because everyone can see you when you're in the VIP and they can't get in the VIP.
No.
And we were there like glugging that free champers.
There's only that rope separating us from the non-VIPs. I felt vulnerable.
Did you? Everyone was pointing at you being like, look at that guy. What's he doing in there? But the goodie bags, we got a goodie bag as soon as we sat down. And they were good. No expense spared.
They put the good in goodie bag.
Yeah, she won't be able to do it next year. She spent all the money on goodie bags.
Anyway, I just realised that we're literally just talking about what a great time they didn't have.
Like sauce guys, sauce for you.
But I thought we'd talk all things Fab Life today.
Because our logo's behind.
Oh my God,
as
yeah.
well.
So can I just say, obviously for people watching on YouTube, but if you're listening, we have like a screen behind us where our logo is here. Look at my face.
Look at that.
Own up. Wow.
Oh my God. I wish
Anyway.
my hair looked like that today.
So, we went round the venue and we learned a load of beauty tricks.
We
I
did,
wanted to
didn't
say, do you have any beauty essentials or beauty tricks or like looking fabulous tricks that you could give the listeners?
Always use SPF.
Oh, well, that's such a cliche.
I know
one,
it
though,
is,
isn't it?
but I realised that when I got older.
Really?
When I got 30. God, I'm really good at talking. When I hit 30, because all of a sudden the wrinkles, they don't quit, do they? It's after a night out as well, and you're like, oh gosh, you know, like the wrinkles go deeper because you're tired or like whatever. But actually, it's all about the cleanser for me, like a nice oily one. So it feels just like, I don't know what it's doing, if it's doing anything good, but it's really luxurious on my skin. So like, actually, if I wake up in the morning, I'm even having a PJ day, I'll go in the bathroom and I'll just like cleanse my face and give it a wash.
Really?
Even if you're just having a hangover day in your PJs. Because I hate that, like, it just makes me feel fresh, like, instantly. So I do invest in...
Do you get in from nights out and cleanse?
I'm really
I'm quite good at that, yeah.
Me too. I'm really good. Did I tell you this story? We said it on the pod. Once I was on a Christmas work do, and it was like Christmas jumper day. And I was like in this like big pink skirt. It was amazing, this like satin one. And my Christmas jumper though, it was like a red cashmere one with like a little shirt underneath. So it looked like Mrs. Claus. It was dead cute. I had my Christmas earrings in. And I got in and I was just like so shit-faced. But we've been drinking since lunchtime. So, you know, it wasn't that late. Anyway, Freddie gets home and he's like, Lauren? And he was like so worried about me because he got my text saying I'm getting in a cab. Anyway, I was sat on the loo and I took half my face off and I was asleep on the bog. And he was like, on the bog, he's fuming. Look at him.
Lauren, it's called Fab Life, Lauren Lee. We don't refer to it as a bog.
All right, pints of wine over there. Honestly though, but so I'd done half and then I'd started to do the other half of like my, you know, like my big eyeliner.
Of the opera?
He thought I'd been like beaten up or I'd hit my face because it was like black, you know, like where the eyeliner was half taken off. I must have had a good half an hour, 40 minutes sat there asleep, yeah. Hilarious. I didn't remember it the next day either. And he was like, do you not remember me finding you on the... So I woke up and I was like, oh God, I did a terrible job of taking my makeup off last night. And he was like, you don't remember, do you? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And I fell asleep on the loo. But apart from that one time, yeah, I know it's bad if I don't take my makeup off actually. Because it just feels good even when you're hammered. I always brush my teeth as well.
Yeah, I always try, unless I pass out like you do.
Yeah, you know it's bad.
But also, if I wake up the next morning and I haven't cleansed my face the night before, I feel like dirty and I don't even have makeup on.
Yeah,
so.
you're ever so good.
Oh no, I have to.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. Or having my nails done. I don't have my nails done anymore because...
Well, you just book a manicurist to come as you arrive home. Not you can say,
not on a night out.
And I do my nails.
I get the UV light out, honestly, and I put the gels on.
She's passed out in one of those machines. My mum used to have an at-home thing that she'd put
I've got
nails
one
in.
now.
What do they do? Just dry it?
Because if you use gel, it's like lasts longer.
Right.
But I used to have fab nails, didn't I? The stilettos, and they instantly made me feel amazing. But I can't do it now with the baking because they just.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just you put a glove on, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to like
just
have
poke straight through
one of your cookies and find
a bit of
diamante,
acrylic. Yeah. One day I'll get them done again, you know, for like a special occasion.
So SPF, always cleanse.
Always cleanse. Get your hair and nails done if you feel shit as well, or style your hair. Like after lockdown, I felt like shit. Oh, keep whacking that mic. Because no one had the roots done or anything. You know me, I'm always like fully, you know, got my hair like coiffured or dyed or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like shit. So one day I got one of my wedding dresses on. I've only been married once, just FYI. It's just I have a lot of dresses. I had many dresses for like the day before.
Because you had to, yeah, and also
2 weddings.
You technically had 2 weddings because of lockdown.
So we ended up with 4 wedding dresses.
Not because you're a whore.
Yeah, I mean I'm that as well, but hey, that's the past.
Also, I should clarify, like I don't think people who have been married twice are whores. So
it's not the 1800s. Yeah. So I put one of my dresses on and like did my hair and painted my nails and I felt like a new person. So it's that old, who said it? Elizabeth Taylor. It was like put red lipstick on and pull yourself together, which is a really old fashioned thing to do, but it does just give you an instant boost. Like you're doing it for you, hun. You know? What do you do that? Just pop a bit of red lippy on and
yeah. And a wedding dress.
Yeah, you've got a few.
I have, and I am a whore. No, mine would be cleansing. I would definitely do cleansing.
Always cleanse.
I also a shower. Sometimes, like if I'm hungover, for example,
it does the world
a shower just cures me, and you feel better. And also sometimes dressing. What is it? They say dress for the job you want not have, or whatever.
You want to have, I guess,
or like it extends past jobs as well. I think it's like dress for how you want to feel.
You can never be overdressed. That's the thing as well. You know me. I'm always like totally overdressed. Like But what are people going to say to you? You look overdressed. They're just going to be like, oh, you look really nice. And if they don't, then they're a twat. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's easier for women to not like necessarily look overdressed. I think sometimes a man can look a bit overdressed.
Yeah, if you turned up
like
in
if
a
I
tux
was in
today,
a tux,
you know,
yeah,
be a bit
at the
weird.
gym.
Yeah. Be like, oh, he wants attention again.
You know,
that
there
guy.
are, you know, there's
Yeah.
no such thing of being overdressed is a bit of a myth, because there is.
I think it helps, especially living in London, though, because everyone thinks you're off to do something else. They think
Yeah.
you're so important that you're off to do something
That's
else.
the most common question. People are like, where are you going? And I'm like, the pub.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, they think I'm going to a fancy dress party or something.
Yeah, and also, because I've noticed living back in Cleethorpes, like
Yeah,
there's
heaven forbid you wear
certain
a
things I
patterned
wouldn't
shirt or
wear
something.
in Cleethorpes
Yeah.
because people would be like, what? Whereas in London, no one cares. Even like a pearl necklace. Like,
Yeah,
that
you
I've-
were rocking that last week.
oh, thank you. I was hoping you'd say that.
I quite liked it. It was like this very delicate.
Oh, it's from Mykonos.
Oh, is it? Oh, little
Because, you know, I'm not a cliche at
Did
all.
you find him on the beach and make it yourself?
No, we passed it in those lovely little white houses, and we saw. And my friends went in to like look at the bits and bobs, the trinkets, you know. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, I wanted to get to the bar, and then I was like, I want one, so I got like a tiny little pearl necklace.
Oh, it's nice. I approve. I mean, yeah, but you couldn't
But-
wear that in Cleethorpes.
Or
could you?
well, I could, but I'd have a lot of people be like, oh, you're wearing a pearl necklace.
yeah,
And
it's
it'd be like,
easier for me to be dressed up in like hair dark as a woman actually, because older women just who's like, you know, the majority of the population of hair dark just go, oh, don't you look nice? But if you were like really dressed up, everyone would be like, what the hell's he doing?
yeah, who do you think he is?
Yeah, who's he think he is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little bit
I
like
think I'm
that.
fabulous. That's who, Sheila.
Poor Sheila. So definitely that. And yeah, I guess doing my hair as well. Well, I used to when I was younger.
You've had a lot of hairstyles, you know.
Oh, haven't I just? I mean,
Remember the days of the fringe?
yeah. I mean, at one point I looked like Delia Smith.
I've never heard anything so accurate in my life.
Because
You did look like
I
Delia
looked
Smith.
like Delia. I really did. I went to I've
Same
told you about the
hairdresser.
time that
You
I
went
went
to the
to Vidal Sassoon. No, I
You were
didn't.
like-
I didn't do Google who is Delia. I didn't go, can I have a Delia? You know, like people ask for the Rachel. I didn't go, I'll have the Delia, thank you. Like it wasn't intentional.
You walk into oh my god, I can't talk. You walk into Vidal Sassoon and like, oh Delia, you're back. And you're like, oh god,
No, I was in Manchester and I thought I'm going to go to Vidal Sassoon.
treats.
And I do now go to Vidal Sassoon, and I found the perfect hairdresser.
Yeah, you love your
Shout out to
hairdresser.
Ryan, he does listen to the pod.
Oh my god, so does mine, Connor.
Well, Connor actually listens. I think Ryan's like 3 years
When
behind.
when you're
Not
coming
5.
to an appointment, he just like listens to the latest episode really quickly.
But I went in, right? And this was in Manchester. So I went into Vidal Sassoon and I said, oh, can I get, you know, a hairdresser or whatever? And they gave me this one, and she was there. She was really funky. She had like colourful
You just
hair.
thought she was like dead cool.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
looked cool. So I was like, oh, I'm in safe hands.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a cool person, am I? Like, I'm not like edgy.
Yeah.
I always say to my hairdresser, I'm like, sharp, you know, that's what
Yeah.
I want. I want sharp. I want
Yeah.
clean cut. I'm not edgy.
No.
So I get my hair cut, and it was when it was quite long. And what she decides to do, because she was like, oh, I think, like, why don't we go a bit different? So I was like, yeah. Like, I was totally, like, consumed
Let's
in
do
this.
something different.
So
Yeah.
what she did is she, like, cut my hair, and it was quite long at the back when she cut it.
What year was this?
God, it must have been about 2011, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
Setting the scene.
And what she did is she, like, part of my hair that was long, she cut it short, but she left almost like a tail that, like, came down. I'm doing it on the thing, but I'm trying to describe for the audio
Like
listeners.
a slight mullet.
But it was like a tail. It was like a little ferret was on my head.
But on one side or both?
On
sides?
one side.
Oh,
On
too
one
edgy.
side, and it was literally not even in the middle. It was kind of the
Like
end.
lads at school used to have that, didn't they, in the middle?
But it was a properly long. And so I was just convinced that this was fantastic. I was like, absolutely. So I get back, and I was living it with Yasmin, my friend at the time, and she's like, and I was like, oh yeah, do you like my hair? I've gone a bit different. And she was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like,
God.
and we cut it off there
Did
and
you?
then. I was like, you're right, I knew, but I didn't want to defy Vidal so soon. But now I think I've got to grips with my hair now.
Yeah.
And I used to be quite like, if her hair was out of place, I used to get really
you did
angry.
you were always doing your hair, but now you're more like...
I don't really care as much anymore. You just
really.
stop listening. Yeah,
Yeah.
so do your hair,
What else?
cleanse.
Do you like having a drink to make you feel fab, actually? Because I don't necessarily... You know, like some people might like sit and make themselves a really good gin and tonic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like, to make them... Yeah, I don't actually go... I know we love a bev, don't we? Obviously.
Well, I like to treat myself as well. So I like to like...
Buy yourself something.
Yeah, treat yourself to something fab. What would you treat yourself if you're going to go out and do?
It always used to be shoes for me. Like
Really?
I think I've said this before on the pod, but like my dad once made me go upstairs and he was like, he didn't make me actually because I didn't do it. He was like, go upstairs and I want you to count how many pairs of shoes you've got. And he was like, if you don't get the number right, then you need to get rid of someone because you clearly don't know how many pairs of shoes you've got. And my dad's not a strict person, like I'm a daddy's girl. But he was like, you've got to, like, you don't even know what you've got. And I guessed a number. It was like 47 or something. And I went up and it was like 48. So I was like, I don't have to get rid of any because I was right. I used to have so many pairs of shoes.
48 pairs of shoes.
I've still got quite
How
a lot.
How did you fit them?
I used to have like well, it's still there. I just don't have that room anymore. I just don't live at home anymore. But sorry, there was like a cupboard at home, like not a walk-in wardrobe. Like it's a weird cupboard in the wall. It was just full of shoes.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's great.
I think mine would be a shirt. I like a nice shirt.
Yeah, you do. You're really getting into like tropical, you know, satin numbers recently, and I think I'm here for it.
Yeah, I am as well, actually.
Yeah.
I wore a lovely one, which Phoebe complimented me on as soon as she met me on Saturday.
Was it the beachy?
It was the beachy,
one?
the pink one with the boats. And then as someone else came up, there was like, I love the shirt. And I was like, oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Mega pint of wine, being told the shirt's fab.
Oh my God.
What more could you want?
What more could you want from a weekend? Honestly, that is feeling fab. Yeah, I don't know what I'd buy now. Maybe makeup, actually. I like to buy like an expensive lipstick.
I used to like fall for the cons as well. So I think I was saying this to the Liz Earle girls, but I
say that when you're drunk.
if anything says glow on it, I want it.
You want it. Mm-hmm. It's all about the glow, isn't it?
All about the glow.
I've got a glowy foundation.
I'm looking at the monitor right now. I can't see if I have a glow or not, but I'd love
You do.
A glow.
You've got a lovely glow.
Yeah. Look at us just
I know, like,
ourselves.
God, it's a good job. I hope people don't take us too seriously because we're always like, you're so great. We always used to, when we used to work together, we used to say, it was only me and you that could ever get away with this, I think. But you'd be like, oh, that guy over there, he was really nice. He was just talking to me. I think maybe you fancy me. And we'd be like, yeah, because you're so attractive. So
I know.
So bad, isn't it? It's like, yeah, because I'm so attractive. When I say that in front of my mum, she like creases up. She's like, if you were a sweet, you'd eat yourself, honestly. I'm like, thanks, mum.
That's such a northern saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what saying I heard the other day, which I absolutely love? Oh, the neither use nor ornament. Isn't that?
Oh,
have you not heard that?
I've never heard that.
Yo, tell me you've heard that.
I bet Sandra's screaming at home going, yes, you have. I've said that.
Oh, you're bloody neither use nor ornament.
Oh, I love
How
it.
How great is that? Yeah, it very much suits you, the granny vibe you've got going
I've got my St. Michael pinny on as well. What? You know it's good in a charity shop if it's St. Michael because it's old M&S.
What? Is that a pin? What do you mean?
It's just like, I think this is like a workwear dress for a housewife from the like 70s or something. Right. But I
thought you were saying you had a pinny on under the dress.
No,
I was like, is that some sort of weird fetish?
Like sneak peek on the cam later as I walk out.
This is overall.
It's like you're a cam girl, but for a very niche audience, you know.
You could be a cam girl. You could be one of those. Right, let's. I've got a phone here. I could use my actual phone.
What?
The water.
I can't. I've took the lid off.
I'm gonna ring sex line. Okay, what's your sex line called?
Pinafore. HMS Pinafore. So camp.
Pinafore, yeah. Because you're
a
pin-up model.
Say. Yeah.
Pin, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I like a granny as well.
Hello.
Hi, who's that?
It's Lee.
Oh, are you sure you should be calling this line?
What would you say then?
I don't know.
Because don't they sit there in like trackies or whatever, like you do on Zoom with us before we went video.
The face is like glam, but the bottom half's like trackies.
Oh, what are you? Have you seen that program? Actually, it's advertised with that woman from Love Island. She's investigating it, and it's these girls, basically some men who have a lot of money like to be treated like bitches, like and they send people money. They're called like piggy something.
Yeah, I saw one. It was this like older woman, and he takes her out for dinner and pays for it. I'm like, what do you do for a living?
This man, this woman's on the phone, and she's being like, £100. Is that all you want to give me?
Oh,
you
fantastic.
are pathetic and weak if you only send me that. And then she gets another 200 quid. I mean, you just want that job, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I often get people messaging me on Insta being like, do you want £1,000?
For what?
Like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, nah. But it's sometimes women as well, like in America, and they're like, I'm a sugar mama. Uh-huh. And I just, and there's like Insta, it's like pictures of people going, sugar mama gave me $2,000 straight to PayPal.
I mean, I'm not against it.
If it was legit, I'd be like, yeah.
Me, oh, yeah. But I think I would do stuff for £1,000.
Like what?
I don't know, like...
Not sure you put your foot in it now.
Well, talking about putting my foot in it, I have been asked to send people my socks before.
Have you? I wish I got more of them, because people have said that to me.
I wish I got more of them. It's not fucking Pokemon cards. No, but
because just send you stockings. Like, who cares? Charge a load of money for them.
Yeah, but they've one time I was like, ooh, how much? ? And they were like 20 quid. And I thought, by the time I walked to the fucking post office and pay postage and packaging.
Cost of living crisis as well.
Absolute cost of living crisis. Like, we're all tired.
Yeah.
But if they were like, 500 quid,
100%.
I'd record a delivery.
Yeah.
I'd courier. I'd drive it down personally.
Oh my God. I used to have this guy in my Dolly Daydream Facebook page.
Dolly Daydream is your pin-up.
Yeah, alter ego. Although she's pretty much just me with a different name. And less clothes on. But I used to have this guy in America, and he'd always message me being like, oh, have you got any like headshots done yet? And all he wanted was like a glossy pic, like that I'd signed and done a kiss on. Like he wasn't like creepy or anything. I'm quite lucky I don't get any like dick pics or anything. And I was like, oh, sorry, no, I've got these postcards, and I had these postcards for an event. I was like, I can send one of them. And he was like, no, I've got a collection of like all UK pin-up models in, I think he had a shop or something, or a tattoo shop or something, and he wanted them all. And honestly, well, he's going to pay me loads of money, and I was just like, but if I'd got a shoot done just to get this, I would have made no money. Though.
People just like collecting things. I remember when I did, do you remember that play I did, The Larry Show?
Yeah.
And we toured it, and I went to Malvern. Have you been to Malvern?
Where's that?
I know, it's very hilly. My calves had doubled in size by the time. But I was in Malvern, and we'd just done a matinee, and I popped over to the shop to get some food, and then went back to the theatre. And there's a guy at the stage door with a poster, and he's like, "Could I taking photos of me approaching?" I was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting papped."
You're like, this show is a hit.
I know.
We're going on the West End.
We've only sold 7 tickets for the evening, but it's a hit. And as I walked up, he was like, hi, could I get your autograph? So I was like, yeah, of course. And so I signed it. And then he was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so did you see the show? And he was like, oh, no. And I went, oh, are you coming to the evening one then? And he was like, no. And basically he just collects autographs from theatre shows for everyone who's there.
He's got loads of famous people, though, like people who've been in...
Well, yeah, that's what autograph hunters do as well, because if it's like their early days...
And then they'll get loads
of money. So maybe if I don't know, if Hollywood come a-calling, that could be around.
But without a picture of you, he could have done that himself.
He could have.
I don't think they're worth that much anymore, autographs, are they?
No, it's all about the selfie, isn't it?
It's all about that selfie. I was just going to say quick, just going back to Love Island, we threw it out there to ask people what they wanted to talk about this week, or like just ask us anything. Someone said Love Island, and we just don't, you don't watch it either, do you?
I dip in and out. I could probably have a conversation about it.
I couldn't tell you what.
I think Davide and Ekin-Su are going to win, but I
predictions hot off the press from Lee.
Well, yeah, it's not like insider knowledge. It's quite obvious that.
But that's like you'd put money on that.
I quite like that fact they're going to win, because they're a little bit of a tumultuous couple,
right?
And
are they going to last outside? You know, if they do win,
probably not. I mean, I do think half of them don't.
They're in it for that boohoo contract. Let's not pretend they're not. They're all about that fast fashion.
Yeah, and also when it gets to this stage of the competition and they like have an argument, I'm like, it's such a waste of time because we know that they're going to patch things up in case they could win. But the great thing about Davide and Ekin-Su is, obviously at the
Ekin-Su.
end, Ekin-Su, yeah.
That's such a cool name, isn't it?
Yeah, Ekin-Su.
But it's also like, oh, Ekin-Su. You know, like you're an old woman.
Oh, Ekin.
Yeah, anyway.
No, Ekin-Su's neither use nor ornament.
Yeah, there you go.
But at the end, they have that thing where they split the money or they keep it.
Oh
Do
my God,
remember
I didn't
Golden
know this.
Balls?
Yeah.
Such a good show. I hope they bring
should
it
bring
back.
it back.
So they can split or steal. Now, I will say this.
That's a bit scandalous.
I would not be surprised if Ekin-Su just
robs
steals.
it.
Oh, I think it would be Davide.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because she is just really. I think she is a bit of a hopeless romantic.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, I haven't been following as much, so I've only seen bits of Ekin-Su, but I always thought she was a bit of a trouble causer in a good way.
Oh,
She
maybe-
loves the drama.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's. I think that's at the same time as she's also trying to find love.
Yeah.
Because she's obsessed
Right.
with like trying to find. But also, I think they do deserve to win because their backs must hurt from carrying the show. Both of them together
Lol.
have carried the entire. There would
Really?
have been no Love Island 2022.
Everyone's been dull.
100%, yeah. 'Cause
Dull as
she's been hilarious, and because he started when I saw him, I thought, I was totally in love with him. I was like, oh,
Is he a hottie?
oh my God, is he a hottie? I mean, you don't like them too muscly. I mean, he's literally like
I like a bag of remote.
ripped. Back of
Right.
but
Like
so
hottie.
he was a bit like, he's Italian, Davide, and he talks like this.
Oh,
Italian.
right. Bit of a Giovanni off Strictly, but taller.
Yeah.
No,
And-
more hilarious. Like what's his face? Gino D'Acampo.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want the cooking show of Davide and Gino.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely. Yeah.
We'll
Oh
get
my
a
God,
word
that
in
would be
edgeways,
Such a
would
good thing. Yeah. But he at first seemed a bit cocksure, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But it was actually like we do sometimes, like you were saying earlier, like, oh, because you're so attractive. He's almost being a bit ironic. He knows how
and
good.
people didn't get it at first.
Yeah, and he knows how good looking he is. So it's like, it would actually be quite stupid to be like to have modesty with that. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's a bit
I
like,
always think that if you're like an
undeniable.
absolute Adonis, and
Yeah,
someone
well,
says
leave
you're
me
fit,
out of this. But, I'm talking about Davide, but thank you.
yeah, if you go back to someone and you're like, oh no, I'm not. I mean, you might have really bad
It's
insecurity.
he's
but
objectively
yeah,
gorgeous.
you know if you're that hot.
Yeah.
I remember walking out of a tube once, and this I was with my friend Graham, he's a listener of the pod, hey Graham, and an ex-boyfriend of mine, and honestly this guy was walking into the tube and he was the most attractive person. It was like he wasn't real, like he was a model, like, you know when you're just like, what do you do for a living apart from being a model, because you can't do anything else because you're so attractive.
Yeah.
And me and Graham and even my ex-boyfriend were all like, we all just were like, oh my God, who was that man?
But you know what? People like that have had such privileged lives without knowing.
Yeah.
Because
You always get the job.
Beauty
Yeah,
is powerful.
it really is. And we would know.
And I'm feeling a lot of power right now.
Honestly, I feel like a queen.
Well, I was like that today. I went to a gym here. I did a little class pass at the gym. And I walked into a Fitness First in Streatham. And
And your life just came crashing down.
personal trainer turns around. And you know when like they turn round? That's the worst. If you see them from a distance, then you can prepare yourself. But he had his back to me. And then he just turned round.
Slow-mo.
And I was like that. He was just stunning. And
they wear those t-shirts, PTs, that like they cling to their back.
yeah.
They get them t-shirts
Yeah,
on
yeah.
purpose, that material, don't they?
yeah. And he was clearly straight.
Shame.
But do you know what he kept saying? He kept calling me buddy. And
Hey, buddy.
I'm sorry to say, it's kind of turning me on.
Oh, was it? I thought you were going to say off. I don't want to be called buddy.
It was like
no way.
No,
It's like when
Phoebe's
older women
swallowing
say
sick.
mate. It's like when older women say
No,
mate. You know,
'cause
like
he-
it just seems wrong
No,
when older
but-
women go, "You're right, mate," and you're like, "Oh,
he was so cool, and he was just like,
hey, buddy."
thanks, buddy. And I was just like, oh, buddy. Oh.
Was he posh? Posh people.
No, he
say
wasn't.
buddy,
He was
like
cool.
Posh fellas.
He was cool. And then
right.
he was like, can I get your name? And I was like, oh, Lee. And then he was like, yeah, great, no worries. And he's like, would you like a towel? Which obviously
need
is
one.
a proposal. So he hands me this towel. And then he was like, cheers. And he was like, have a good one, Lee. And the fact that he used my name.
You were like,
it was
"We're
like,
getting married."
I was like, and I walked off and I was going,
Did you text your mum and you were like, "Mum, I found a man"?
no, I don't text my mum when I see it. She's not the first person I think to say, Mum,
It's serious.
I found a guy. He calls me buddy.
I'm an elf.
Anyway, we've
What time is
talked.
it?
It's we've done. Well, we've not done, but
Yeah, we've not
we're around
done.
the 40-minute mark, are we, Phoebe? Yeah, we've
Yeah,
done.
lovely. That's
Average
a good
episode.
time.
What a treat!
Oh,
and what
honestly,
a treat
we
having
really-
Phoebe here as well.
And you didn't shout at her once. We'll save
No,
that for
but
next
let-
time.
well,
Shall I do
we'll-
something now?
we'll wait.
Yeah. We'll fuck up the sound.
yeah.
We'll wait for the
Turn it really
cameras to
loud.
be off. This is just a
Yeah.
persona. Cameras
really
off.
nice.
I've got some stories about people like that in TV, I tell you.
Have you?
Wait till the book comes out.
Leave recording on and we'll get the girls' sleeves. So it's been episode 23 of season DOS. Two. I travel a lot. Can't claim that. That's one of yours. Of Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. And if you forget, it's right bloody behind us.
I know. So if you have been listening to this and want to just have a glimpse of where we are, we will put pictures of this and stuff on our
we will.
Instagram at Fab Life Pod. But if not, head on over to the U of the Tube. Just search Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. It will come up and you'll see us sat in this gorgeous little studio.
The sound is probably
The
going to be stoned as
sound.
well.
Oh.
You sound lovely in my ears.
Thank you. You sound.
You're all right.
I can hear you.
I've acclimatised.
I've got used to you now. That laugh that everyone loves to take the piss out of on the Insta. It's going to be so clear, isn't it now?
Your laugh, did they?
Yeah.
Did they take the
Well, they love it, but it's also like, it's a man's laugh, you know?
Yeah, well,
I'm fine with that.
We've got to bring some
My
masculinity,
USP, yeah.
masculinity to this podcast.
Someone's got to do it.
This has been episode 23. Subscribe.
Do all your bits.
Yeah,
leave us a review in
all
that.
shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, see you next time on Fab Life.
With Lauren and Lee.